some years ago when my eldest son called me from England when I was living in the United States of America. He called me and he'd had a remarkable experience in a meeting. He'd been involved in some deliverance. And then he said to me, he laid on the ground and he redug the wells of the denominational church that he was meeting in that time, the wells of revival. And he called me shortly after having an amazing time of ministry, a praise party, and this redigging of the wells. And he called me and he said something to me that I'd never grabbed hold of before. What he gave me was an experience, not just of a father to a son and a son to a father, but an understanding of our Heavenly Father. See, my son said to me, when I did that, Dad, I felt like you. It was an extraordinary moment. You see, our Heavenly Father wants us to do things on this earth and look up to heaven and say, when I did that, I felt like you, Dad. I believe that is something to do with this element of glory. So I want to talk, and I'm going to start off in Exodus. I'm going to start off with the great story, incredible story of Moses. And in many respects, that's one of the places that this journey really, really began for me. Although I'd had these thoughts over many years, I was reading one day this outrageous verse, I believe one of the two most outrageous verses in the entire Bible, Exodus 33, verse 18, where Moses says to God, "Show me your glory." It's outrageous. Let me just pause for a minute. I'm going to tell you the other outrageous verse, because some of you will say, I wonder what the other one was. Well, it's John 14:12, where Jesus says to the disciples, "And greater works than these shall you do." Now, in both instances, we've got Moses. Look at all that he had seen: the Red Sea parting, the manna, the quail, the leper's hand being healed, water coming from rocks, even 40 days at that stage that he had spent in the presence of God himself. And he would say, "Show me your glory." We'll come back to that. Jesus, after all that they had seen, the dead raising, the multitudes fed, the coin in the fish's mouth, ears healed, leprosy healed, the lame walking, all of those extraordinary things that they had seen together. And Jesus said, "And greater works than these shall you do." It's a key, it's a clue for all of us that our journey must always contain the desire for more. So back to Moses. Show me your glory. Wow, what a statement, what a request of God after all that he had seen, and of course requesting to a God that Moses was well aware could wipe him off the planet with just one word. And yet Moses would say, "Show me your glory." And God said, "Yeah, okay." Now remember, this is just after Moses has come down the mountain. I personally think the second trip he came down. It's just after that, where he was upset with the people of Israel because they were building the golden calf, and Moses smashed the two tablets. And so he smashes the two tablets, and then God says, "Okay, come back up. I'll show you, I'll let all my goodness pass before your eyes." An interesting point there. And he also said to this 80-year-old man, "Carve out two tablets of stone and bring them up with me." Now, it's my understanding that the first two, God carved them out and he wrote in them. But Moses, having broken the second two, has to now, I believe, play his part. That's sometimes the case